The following quick tip video will cover the installation and configuration of multiple RAS remote annunciators to a single Proteus ATG controller. Let's start with the basics. All RAS models will have a ground or black wire, a 12 volts DC or red wire, a horn acknowledge or blue wire, a horn or green wire, and one or more LED wires. In using an RAS1 as an example, the LED is a white wire. Please note, when using field wiring of different colors to connect the RAS to the Proteus controller, it is important that the colored wires on the RAS coincide with the field wiring and ultimately land on their respective connector pin positions on the Proteus controller, as detailed in this video. This illustration reflects the Gen 4.0 Proteus controller's relay parameters, which offers 5 onboard MCU relays and is typically programmed at the factory default setting of light mode, R1, R2, R4, and R5, and horn mode, R3. The Gen 3.0, 3.5 controller is only equipped with 3 onboard MCU relays and is typically programmed at the factory default setting of light mode, R1, and R2, and horn mode, R3. This means the Gen 3.0, 3.5 controller can only support an RAS1 or RAS2, whereas the Gen 4.0 controller can support an RAS1, RAS2, RAS3, or RAS4 remote annunciator with its 5 onboard MCU relays. Both light and horn relays activate at the alarm point set in the relay events. There's a quick tip video available in the video library on the Omtech website that covers the programming of these events. Once the acknowledge test switch is pressed, any relay that is programmed for horn mode will de-energize and silence the horn. Please note, the light will remain illuminated until the alarm condition is cleared. This example shows 2 individual RAS1 units wired to a Gen 3.0, 3.5 controller, so that each remote annunciator monitors a different tank with a common horn. A drawback to this setup is that the horn on both RAS units will sound on an individual alarm, as each horn's green wire connection is ultimately combined at pin 6. Only the light for the appropriate tank will illuminate. Pressing the acknowledge test switch on either RAS1 unit will silence the horns, as their blue wire connections are also ultimately combined at pin 7. We can allow the 2 individual RAS1 units wired to a Gen 4.0 controller to have independent horns by changing the relay, R5, to horn mode, adjusting the alarm events to trigger the correct relays, and making some slight wiring changes. The RAS1, tank 2, white wire, will connect to the J17, pin 12, and the green wire will connect to the J17, pin 14. To utilize independent horns on the Proteus Gen 3.0, 3.5 controller, it must have an XBRB8 relay board. Program the XBRB8 relays so that 2 relays are configured in light mode and 2 in horn mode. Duplicate events are created for individual tanks for the alarm condition, programming the correct light-horn relay combinations. Change the MCU input, I1, from local acknowledge, ACK, to system acknowledge, SYS, ACK. By doing so, pressing the acknowledge test button on any RAS unit will de-energize any relay on any installed relay board set for horn mode. In this example of an independent horn setup, wiring the XBRB8 to the 2 RAS1 units is as follows. The black, red, and blue wires from both units are connected to the 10-pin J9 on a Gen 3.0 controller or J16 on a Gen 3.5 MCU connector. The grounds are extended to the common inputs of the XBRB8 relays, as shown. The white wire from the first RAS unit, tank 1, is connected to the XBRB8, J4, pin 3, and the green wire to the XBRB8, J4, pin 6. The white wire from the second RAS unit, tank 2, is connected to the XBRB8, J4, pin 9, and the green wire to the XBRB8, J4, pin 12. This wiring is what provides the horns to alarm independently from each other. Pressing the RAS Acknowledge Test switch again on either RAS unit will silence the horns as they are combined. There are many possible combinations for multiple RAS remote annunciators, such as common horn, independent horn, and combined light horn acknowledge. Please consult the RAS wiring manual, document DI00001, from the UMTech website, found under Support, then Document Library, for more details. Contact UMTech Technical Support for help with your requirements or any other questions or concerns pertaining to our RAS series remote annunciators, wiring and programming. This completes the installation and configuration of multiple RAS remote annunciators to a single Proteus ATG controller.